Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jay Cohn.
And I'm Janelle Slade. Montana's climate completed a 180 overnight.
Take a look at the view right now from the Q2 ICAM atop the rims as cooler air and rain rolls in, wiping out the heat and hopefully helping extinguish the flames and smoke from the long, hot summer.
Q2 Chief Forecaster Bob McGuire joins us from outside the studios. Bob, I hear you have an umbrella, probably one of the most welcome sights of this brutal fire season.
Yeah, let's show the weather guy with an umbrella. That's certainly a good sign. None of that, it's a Q2 umbrella, huh? Let me show you what we have going for us right now. A little light rain in the area. Our current temperature now right at 49 degrees here in the Billings area. Not bad at all. We have a northeast wind at 14 miles per hour. Now, I know that looks like smoke, yesterday's smoke. That's actually rain and mist and stuff like that. So let me show you what we have here going on right now. Currently, the Doppler radar is showing some spotty rain showers making its way into the region, and apparently we're not going to be able to. There we go. You can see the next batch of rain getting ready to make its way in from Livingston. It's just about, it's coming close to Yellowstone County, getting some rain over there in Laurel right now. So we're going to see some spotty showers as the night goes on. Now you'll notice here, that's just the beginning of it. We've got a big batch of rain moving in after 6 o'clock. That stuff at Great Falls, that's going to come down to give us some showers as well. How much rain are we talking about? Well, here in Billings, through Saturday afternoon, maybe 2 inches of rain, 2 inches over Miles City, almost right around 2 inches at Glendive. So south central Montana getting some very heavy rain. So obvious this is going to be, I think, a really big event. What about snowfall? Well, we're looking at this to be basically a big snowfall amount. You can see it here, mainly most of the mountains going to see the snow up there. And as far as snowfall, well, here's what we expect to see. In the Beartooth and the Crazy Mountains, more like 10 to 14 inches of snow. And up in the Bighorn Mountains, probably going to be like 8 to 12 inches of snow up there. So it's a big rain and snow event, and Billings is going to get a lot of that rain out of this. It could help quite a bit. Let's go back inside.
All right, Q2's Bob McGuire, thank you.
1 year after a new state crime lab opened here in Billings, budget cuts triggered by shortfalls in state revenue are threatening the future of the new facility. If
the $3.4 million in cuts outlined by the Department of Justice are finalized, evidence processing will head back to the state crime lab in Missoula.
Q2's Asia Gore has been looking into the story for us and joins us now with more on the cuts. Asia.
Jay and Janelle, the 5 employees at the crime lab in Billings have been busy processing 442 autopsies and 857 chemical cases since the facility opened just last year. Funding for the crime lab in Billings was approved during the 2015 legislature in an effort to speed up forensic testing of evidence backlogged for months. The legislature had signed off on $310,000 for the 1,500 square foot facility, but faced with a 10% budget reduction, the Department of Justice could close the crime lab in Billings. The DOJ said in a memo to Governor Bullock the loss of the lab would have a significant impact on criminal cases in eastern Montana counties. The Department of Health and Human Services also uses the crime lab to test child hair samples for drug exposure. And the memo warns Montana could lose its chief medical examiner due to the unfavorable financial conditions. DOJ spokesman Eric Sell tells me the 5 employees at the crime lab here in Billings would be moved to the lab in Missoula. Jay and Janelle.
All right, thanks, Asia.
A state legislative committee weighed in today on Montana's worsening budget picture.
MTN's Jonathan Amberian now reports that there is still disagreement on just how far those state revenues could fall.
The State Revenue and Transportation Interim Committee considered 2 key questions in its meeting Thursday morning. How did Montana's tax revenues fall so short of expectations, and will that issue continue in the coming years? A combination of lower than expected revenues and skyrocketing firefighting costs has left the state general fund balance far below initial estimates. Governor Steve Bullock's office says the balance has fallen enough to trigger mandatory 10% budget cuts for state agencies.
I don't think that the gravity of the situation should be dismissed.
Legislative fiscal analysts say the biggest reason for the lower revenues is individual income taxes, which fell $70 million below HJ2, the legislature's revenue estimate. Analysts say there is still a great deal of uncertainty in what the next 2 years will bring. They say it's still possible that a jump in tax revenues could bring the state close to the original projections.
While I'm not advocating that HJ2 is the number anybody should use right now, I'm also advocating that you may not want to dismiss it entirely.
But Bullock's budget director, Dan Villa, says economic conditions make it unlikely for the state to achieve that kind of growth.
Is it possible? Yes. Is it plausible? Absolutely not.
Villa says the initial budget estimate set unrealistic goals, and the state will have to make adjustments.
What we're facing now is something that we will have to wrestle with over the long term.
In the end, the committee members agreed the budget situation may be serious enough for the governor's office to make the proposed cuts.
I don't think we heard from anybody who came to the microphone that the budget projections were anything other than what they are, which is a dire situation.
In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
And Jonathan tells us that hearing today focused only on the governor's revenue estimates, not on the proposed cuts. The Legislative Finance Committee will weigh in on those cuts at a special meeting next month.
Villa says Bullock will then make final decision on cuts after the committee makes its recommendations.
A Billings man who claimed his innocence at trial this week for molesting 2 young girls found guilty. Late this afternoon, the jury convicted 37-year-old Josh Burley of 2 felony sex crimes. The 2 victims testified during the trial about the abuse during the trial that went on all week in Yellowstone County District Court. The sexual abuse took place in 2010 when the girls were ages 5 and 13. During emotional testimony this week, the older victim said she reported the abuse, but no one believed her. Burley has been out on a $100,000 bond, but today the judge revoked his release and sent him to jail. Due to the ages of the victims, the crimes fall under Jessica's Law, which carries a mandatory life sentence. A sentencing date in the case has yet to be set.
Verizon customers in rural parts of Montana say the company will terminate their cell phone service on October 17th. Senator Jon Tester is now speaking out on behalf of those people affected. In a letter, the company stated, quote, "We discovered you are using a significant amount of data while roaming off the Verizon wireless network. We will no longer offer service for the numbers listed above since your primary place of use is outside the Verizon service area." Senator Tester wrote, "Given the importance of wireless communication for maintaining public safety, running a business and staying connected during emergencies, I strongly urge Verizon to reverse its decision." The senator asked several questions in his letter, including, is it only the large data users that are receiving termination notices? And what is the specific data usage number Verizon used to determine which contracts to terminate? According to the customer agreement, Verizon states, "We may change prices or any other term of your service or this agreement at any time." Senator Daines also later this afternoon called Verizon's decision unacceptable. A Verizon spokesperson says more than 900 customers with more than 2,000 lines are affected, and the roaming costs exceed what customers pay each month.
Dozens of schools in northwest Montana closed today amid an apparent threat of violence that now has the attention of the FBI. A total of 31 public and private schools decided not to open for class today as a result of the threat that came last night. Federal authorities releasing few details on the situation, but the Flathead County Sheriff says the threats started at the Columbia Falls School District and then eventually spread to neighboring schools via text and emails. The anonymous threats had law enforcement agencies working through the night to see if the threat was credible.
There are unfortunately always threats to schools, and it's up to the school administration and us in law enforcement to attempt to verify the validity of that threat. Do we feel that it's credible or not? And in this case, certainly we feel that potentially it could be credible. So that's why we're working as hard as we can, and I think it probably was prudent for some of the schools to cancel classes today.
In addition, all sporting events and team practices also canceled at those 31 schools affected.
Up next on tonight's 5:30 News, Montana is stepping up for its communities and its firefighters. We'll show you how.
That story in a moment. And later in sports tonight, Scott checks in with this senior football player who has interceptions in all 3 games for the top-ranked Broncs.
You're watching MTN News.